All right, everyone, welcome back to the channel once more. And today's episode, we're going to answer a very important question. And that question is if it is proper for men to cover their hair in prayer. Now, this is as regards the last video that I posted, or the last video as regards the talit. I covered my hair, questions arises, and all of that. So we're going to do justice to that, and we're going to find a right footing. So if you're not yet subscribed, do it to subscribe and hit the notification bell for videos like this that are going to come your way, that's going to enlighten you and educate you, and it's going to grow you spiritually. Let's jump right into this video. At First Corinthians chapter 11, I'm going to read chapter 11, verse 4. All right, we are First Corinthians chapter 11, verse 4. Or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head. All right, every man. Now, before that, I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God. Note of the head of the man is Christ. So the next verse now said, every man that prayeth or prophesieth with his head covered dishonor the head. So many people have used this as an aspect of the scripture that men are supposed to take off whatever they wear. You know, the Jew, they wear, some of them they still, all right. The turban is a priestly garment, so we understand the Jews still wear the turban, and the some of them still wear the talit. Like some people wear the talit, like I wore the talit last time. But I'm going to explain something to you, that scripture, because we need to take it from an historical point of view. In those days, there were a sect of people that were around the church, all right, in those days. And these people, whenever they are praying to their own God, whenever they are praying to their own God, they cover their hair. It's like a form of, like a ritual, a form of a worship. So whenever they are praying to their God, they cover their hair, maybe as a form of irreverence as well. So during that period, that the method was adopted into the church. And when the method was adopted into the church, it was as if the thing was creeping into the church, and it was affecting some order of service because they focused more on the means, they focused more on the mediums. All right. Now they feel that, without me covering my hair, God can hear my prayer. Without me covering my hair, I can't amount to nothing. I can't pray effectively. So it was not like a practice, and that practice, whatever you esteem, all right, side with God, it now looks like there is a God. That's to say, you are trying to worship a graven image. So it now seems like the covering of hair is now something like an object to reach God. It's not like a medium, and you can't reach. It's only faith. Faith is the only vehicle that can reach God. So it now seems like, maybe Paul now saw it as something like heretical, and that is why Paul described it as dishonor. That act dishonored Christ. All right, because it made mention that the head of every man is Christ. So he made mention, he said that act, all right, dishonored his head, meaning dishonored Christ. So it is more like a cultural and a kind of a societal aspect, and is more like Paul was trying to bring a balance, all right? Because most times we have adopted that means, but we need to understand and study the historical point of view. So Paul was trying to bring a balance as regards, you don't need this to access God, all right? This thing, you adopted it from the world. This thing, you adopted it from paganism. You don't need this. Though this thing, you can pray with that. You can pray as regard that, but that is not a yardstick to access God. All right. So what you need is faith. So this is what Paul was trying to bring orderly worship, if you understand. All right. So that is it for this video. There's a whole lot to this, but just know that from a historical standpoint, it was as regard Paul was trying to address them, not seeing that thing as a medium to reach God. All right. And that because we have left the law, because they were now operating like the law. So we have left the law and we are now in grace. So now Paul now says, please, you are dishonoring Christ. So please just take that enough. So just like there are people that if they don't see some certain things, they can't worship God. If they don't wear good clothes, they can't worship God. That thing is like an idol. Some people, if they don't spray the nice perfume. Some people, they don't have money as offering, they can't go to church and worship God. So that is how Paul was trying to explain it to the Gentile, because understand that this message was written to the Gentile, not the Jew. All right. So this as regards what it entails. Is it proper for a man to put tie his hair in terms of worship? Now that doesn't, it doesn't matter scripturally. I've pointed it to you. It doesn't really matter personally. It doesn't matter. But just what matters is an act of faith that you portray. All right, guys. Thank you very much for this, and do well to subscribe to this channel for more important updates. I'll see you next time.